Hey guys, it's Aaron, your personal coach. Welcome to my training day number 4 in the movement development series. Today is all about the push, right? It's super important that we do understand that we've got a good push, right? Push, if you think about a push, what do you think up? You generally think of a push-up, right? So most people do so many push-ups, it can have an adverse effect on posture as well, especially if they're doing it in an incorrect technique. So I want to show you some great strategies today to improve your push technique, but most importantly, understand that shoulder complex, which is the most important. So let's get started. So the push exercise is, if we start with just a basic stick, right? We're here, we're pushing here, and we're pushing up, right? So many people, it's one of the most common exercises is the push-up. But if you think about the most second common exercise, especially for guys in the gym, it's a bench press, right? The bench press can be a little bit dangerous, especially if they haven't got good rhythm of the shoulder and the scapula working together as a team, right? I'll say that again. The shoulder complex and the scapula need to work together. Now, there's so many reasons why they won't work together, but generally it's imbalances in the chest, in the back muscles, and the muscles surrounding the scapula, also the muscles that come up into the neck, right? If you haven't got a good rhythm of your scapula and your shoulder complex, right, your movement is hindered. And that's like when a lot of people get a lot of rotator cuff tears, right? So we're talking about infraspinatus and supraspinatus, these like rotator cuffs that run through the back. And generally it's because overloading the chest muscle and obviously getting an injury because you haven't got a good rhythm and that team of the shoulder and the scapula aren't working together, right? So I want to show you first of all some incorrect techniques that most people make, like when doing a press, right? That could be a chest press, that could be a bench press, that could even be a push-up, right? So I want to show you from here first. Like most people, they bring the bar down to the chest or the dumbbells, whatever, and they push straight out, right? They're pushing straight out. Okay, so what you want to do is have a little angle of your push. So you're pushing up, right? Your elbows are at a 45 degree here, it's at the chest, and we're pushing up slightly. So then that push up, that bar, or if it's a dumbbell or whatever it is approximately under the under the chin. So we come back, breathe in, elbows at a nice position. They're not too low, but they're not up high as well, so our traps are going to be taken over. And then we press up under the chin. Breathe in, exhale, push up, right? So this is the safest way to be pressing for the shoulder, right? Also, your range of motion as well in your shoulder is important. You don't want to bring that down so far that your shoulder internally rotates. Because if you come down too low, your shoulder internally rotates. Again, you put pressure on the external rotator cuffs, right? So just from here, your range of motion before that shoulder turns in might be there. So it might be a fist off your chest. It never go down. You see a lot of people in the gym, they actually bring it down now, bounce it off the chest, right? Probably one of the worst things that you can do for your shoulder girdle, okay? It's putting yourself at too much risk of an injury, which you don't want. So, okay, if we're talking about corrections, right, like what do we need to do? Now, 16,000 positions in the shoulder, right? So there's a lot of things there that can go wrong, right? But one of the most common thing is that we've got tightness in the traps and we've got tightness in the external rotators, tightness in the pecs, right? If you've watched my training day 1 and 2, I show you how to stretch the chest, and I also show you how to stretch out through the rotator cuffs, right? So you've got the one behind the back, and you've also got the one on the side where you can push down. So they're two critical ones to help improve your chest press. But another one that you can do that I haven't showed you off the football is just a 90 degree through here and just turning over through here. Just holding that 5 to 10 seconds and then change sides. Right, so this is really good just for help opening up that chest. Alright, so we're just moving across, opening up through the chest, 5 to 10 seconds each side. Real easy one. Okay, so once we've opened up through the chest a little bit more, that's going to help improve our range of motion, right? So we're not internally rotating. Right, the second one that I want to show you guys is that one of the biggest problems, like I think I mentioned twice now, is a rotator cuff tear. Right, so if we get a rotator cuff tear, that's a big problem. You won't be doing any chest pressing for a long time, anywhere from 6 weeks to 3 months, possibly even 6 months if it's a bad rotator cuff tear. So how do we prevent that? We strengthen through the rotator cuffs. I'm going to come nice and close here, right? So this is an external rotator cuff exercise. The most important thing is we have a band. It's not too strong, right? A lot of people do this on a cable, but sometimes they have it too heavy, so you see themselves fighting away. You want to make it nice and light so you can get to 15 to 20 rep range. From here, 90 degree bend, you never have it too low. You bring that up a little bit, right? And then we squeeze the hand, externally rotate. Always keep that wrist flat, right? A lot of people will start to bend the wrist and get that movement, right? It's not a wrist exercise, it's a rotator cuff. Always get your hand around the handle. You're squeezing that tight. So never like this, right? So never any grip with your thumb in that position on any of your pressing, pulling exercises. Always the thumb around. Okay, why? Because that's going to give you more of a squeeze and up-regulate the rotator cuffs a lot more. So from here, we just do 15 to 20. 1, 2, 3, right? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I don't want you to move the body. Keep the body as still, core stays engaged. Okay, so what you'll feel, so most people go, I can't feel anything, right? And they've only done 5 reps. You're not going to feel anything in 5 reps, but you'll start to get to 10 to 15 and you'll start to feel this burn through here. That is exactly what you want, right? That's the rotator cuff. For more information, I've also got a shoulder conditioning series, which has got many progressions. Today, I'm just showing you one of the basic ones that you can start with, just to help strengthen through that rotator cuff. Okay, other side. 15 to 20, right? Here, breathe in. Remember, that is up a little bit, you're not too low, because if you're here, right, and that's there, what happens is your tricep will tend to take over. Here, it's all in the rotator cuff. Keep the shoulder back and the belly drawn in, right? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. (15 to 20 reps, right? Really good exercise. One of my favorites, honestly. I've had a couple shoulder injuries in the time I used to race motocross, so I've had a couple injured shoulders. I need to do these exercises every day, right? Every day I'm doing a rotator cuff exercise, so you can't do too many of these exercises. Okay, that's 15 reps, right? So get yourself a nice band. Like I said, an essential part of training is going to be having bands, a football, a roller, and the straps as well. Okay, now I want to show you something. Now, a question I ask, and so many people goes, I can do 20 push-ups, I can do 30 push-ups, I can do 100 push-ups. My question is, how many push-ups can you do with absolutely perfect technique? Right? The question is generally maybe 1, 2, or 3. Right? If you're experienced, maybe 10. right? I could probably do 10 with beautiful technique. Now what beautiful technique looks like is imagine if you can keep this stick on your back and everything stays perfectly straight in the push-up. Let's see how good I am. If I can balance that on there. So from here, perfect push-up. Right, draw the belly button in, chin tucked, you come down. Right, chin tucked. Core engaged. Oops, I think I'm losing the stick, yep. Okay, how many was that? Not many, right? So, an essential part of a push exercise with a push-up, if you're not doing it with perfect technique, what you're doing is creating a faulty recruitment pattern. So you're not doing that exercise properly, you're working the wrong muscle groups and creating more postural imbalances, right? So when I do push-ups, I like to do them on my knees sometimes, right? If I'm doing an exercise where I might go from a chest to a push-up or something like that, a superset, and you're already obviously on fatigue, I can't do good techniques, I'll go on my knees, right? So it's totally fine. Even for a guy, put your ego aside and just concentrate on a nice push-up through here with good technique, right? And I generally like to do a tricep push-up, which is with the hands closer together and the elbows shaving, right, like that. So, a good test, try that with the stick on the back, right? It's going to feel weird. If you can get someone to hold it on your back, it's much better. So the key points you're looking for is your chin should stay tucked. As soon as your head comes off, right, you're doing a push-up like this. How many times you push up, people don't push up with their head starting to move like this, right? So what you're doing is you're working the front of the neck muscles, two muscles there, SCM, sternocleidomastoid, which creates a forward head posture, right? So you're creating that faulty recruitment pattern to make your posture worse, to put more pain in your body. You don't want to do that, right? So you get a stick, chin tucks, reduce that arch in your back, right? Just doing that there can be quite challenging, right? Trying to create that posture. The belly in, there's a small gap there, my chin is tucked, right? My head is on the stick, and my shoulders come back. Test yourself, see how many push-ups you can do with that stick on the back, right? That's a real important one. That'll show you that if you're doing any push-ups at home, right, you're probably doing it incorrectly, right? Chest pressing. So instead of doing it on a bench as well, I would definitely, all my chest presses are on a fit ball. I never do any bench press. Why? Because on a fit ball, you've got more range of motion here. Your scapulars aren't jammed on the bench. Right, so when you're doing a bench press, your scapulars get jammed, you go down, so what happens? You just put a lot of pressure on the shoulders. So instead of jamming your shoulders up with the potential to tear a rotator cuff, you want to get on fit ball. Right, so from here, hips are up, feet are hip width apart, draw the belly button in, the head is on the ball, right? So this is a perfect position. Okay, 2 dumbbells is fine. You're getting your glutes activated as well, so it's a full body functional exercise now. From here, we're pushing up under the chin with the dumbbells, breathing in. Elbows at a 45 degree, they're not up too high. Drop them down, right? Exhale, press up. Pressing up, right? So you might want to try this just with the stick, just with a broomstick, get the movement right, okay? And pressing up, make sure from head to knee, everything is super straight, right? So this is probably one of the best chest pressing exercises that you can do, or the best pushing exercise that you can do out of this push series. So another one, let's have a quick look at the straps. Really good one for stability in the shoulder joint. So this is more advanced. So I would prefer that you can get that push up right with the stick and the posture. right? Like I said, you don't have to be on your toes, you can be on your knees with the stick. If you can get someone to put the stick on your back, great. Then progress onto a fit ball and get that technique right. Add some dumbbells, some light weights. If you're a female, you could probably start with some, say, 3 to 5 kilos. If you're a guy, you could start with probably some 10 to 15 kilos just to get the movement, 15 to 20 reps. If you've got yourself a set of straps, right, this is a great exercise, like one of my favorites. It's a great endurance exercise. So just from here, make sure you've got a good support. Make sure you adjust the straps correctly. Okay, and just from here, what you're going to do is just falling into it and then pushing up. Right, just the same, elbows are low, we come down to the chest and then we push up under the chin. On this one, you're making sure the belly drawn in and the glutes are super strong. 15 to 20 reps again. Shoulders are down, fall into it, there, not too deep, and then press up. To go. 5. Core engage glutes. 4. 3. 2. 1 more. Great stability exercise. Key points to look out for is you don't want your wrist to fold back, right? Flatten your knuckles here, right? As you drop down, elbows are low, right? You don't want to let that shoulder turn in. So if you're going too far back, you might find that turn in as well. Kick the shoulders down, core and glutes, right? This is a great full body exercise as well, because as you're pressing, yes, is it working your chest? Your shoulder stabilizers are working hard, but your core is engaging as well because you're on the straps, right? You've got that, obviously, element of stability there, which is absolutely fantastic to get the core working. Squeeze the glutes as well, because you don't want your pelvis to tip too far forward. It's going to put a lot of pressure on your back, righty? So that is a really good chest exercise. So yeah, just to recap, right? Practice the push-ups. Progress into the fit ball chest press here, and then we can start to come on the straps. Make sure you do 2 to 3 sets of your external rotators, right? Really, really important one. And what you can also do as well, right? The second part, it's once you get really good here, you can put a roller in here and you can just change that position, right? Like I said, 16,000 shoulder positions. You want to be able to start conditioning your shoulders in all different positions. Now, as I said to you before as well, I've also got my core conditioning, I've got my shoulder conditioning series, which has got a lot of different exercises, a lot of different progressions as well. So thanks so much for watching, guys. That is my day number 4, movement development training, the push. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I recommend practice it as much as you can and become obviously experienced at it before you start to add load. I can help you. Don't forget to check out my website, aaronbuchan.com.